Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Robin Geiger, and I am the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. We're really happy that you're here today, and we know there's challenging times right now, and we are just happy that we can, play a role in connecting you with the resources and opportunities available in Northern Virginia. I wanted to run through the agenda quickly and let you know that we're not going to be taking questions today. We do have ways that you can provide feedback or ask questions and get connected to the resources on our webpage, so you can take advantage of the things you learn about today. So with that, our agenda today is pretty quick. We're going to go through the workinnorthernvirginia.com website, so getting a demo to see how you go through that and find the jobs that you're interested in or that you could connect with. Then we'll go into tips for a successful job search. Also find additional job resources, and then also how to stay connected, engaged, and informed. So we wanted to go through the agenda, and that's what we'll be doing in this 45-minute session. And now I'm thrilled to hand this over to our Vice Chairman, Kathy Smith of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, the Sully District, and we're so delighted to have you, Supervisor Smith.
Thank you, Robin. I want to welcome everyone, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us today. In this session, you'll discover job opportunities in the greater Washington, D.C. area, compiled on the workinnorthernvirginia.com website. You'll also gain valuable tips about how to stand out, put your best foot forward, and successfully connect with these opportunities. We hope you find this session helpful. Feel free to share the link to this recorded presentation available on the Work in Northern Virginia website, along with details about future webinars. And I know all of my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors will be putting out information in their newsletters. We are here to support you through whatever process you need to go through. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor Smith. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mike Batt, who is Fairfax County Economic Development Authority's Vice President for Talent. Mike, on to you.
Thank you, Robin. Thanks, everybody, for joining the call this afternoon. We'll hope to make it quick, informative, and provide you some good information to walk away with. Again, my name is Mike Batt. I lead our talent programming for Fairfax County, but I'm here representing all of Northern Virginia, and we'll walk through what I mean by that here in a second. I grew up in a household where my dad worked for 25 years in the federal government, and then I spent a 30-year career in the corporate technology sector. My entire 30-year career partnering with U.S. federal, state, local government organizations the entire time before transitioning to my role here with the county. What I'm going to do is I want to walk through, out of the gate, I want to walk through a comprehensive talent hub that we have. That is the workinnorthernvirginia.com site, where there are right now over 90,000 jobs posted across Northern Virginia. And this is through a subscription service that we subscribe to called Jobs EQ, where we have all the jobs filtered down into one location here on this site. So 90,000 plus from Prince William County, Loudoun County, Fairfax, the cities within those jurisdictions into Arlington and Alexandria as well. So very comprehensive site. I'm going to stop sharing here for a second and bring up the website. All right, so workinnorthernvirginia.com. The very first, is what you will see on the homepage. It's a comprehensive site that gives you lots of information, but we'll focus on the jobs here today. Note too that we have right on the homepage, and we'll talk about this at the end as well. But all of the resources that you're going to hear about are going to be posted there. We'll post the this presentation that we have here and ways for you to get engaged as we continue to reach out over the coming weeks and months. So if I just start out of the gate and click on find a job, you'll see right now, again, through this service that filters down to the zip codes for our region, 92,000, almost 93,000 jobs posted. There's a number of ways you can search for jobs on this site. If you want to just do a keyword search word like, I'll just type in financial analyst and hit search, you can do it that way where you'll see jobs that are posted. The way this site works is it clicks out directly to the organizations that posted those. So you just click apply and go apply directly to that organization. So this is just a tool that, yes, you can go out to LinkedIn, Indeed, other sources, but this scrapes all of the publicly posted jobs that are out there into one location for us across Northern Virginia. So you can search by keyword to find jobs. You could search by company name. I'll just type in MITRE. Right now, MITRE has 266 jobs open. So again, you click, you see which jobs might be appealing to you. You'll see too that they are posted in chronological order of when they were posted by the organizations. So 4 days ago, MITRE. Want to share right out of the gate, these jobs are so fluid. So if you click on one and it says job no longer available, try not to get frustrated with it. Just move on to the next one because there are 90,000 plus out here. But some of these jobs, if you click on them, they might have posted them a few days ago and then received enough resumes or filled the job or whatever the situation might be and have removed it from the posting. So just move on if you see that. But here, again, you clicked on it and then you go apply at the original source. So all of that information sitting right here at your fingertips to, again, apply by keyword or by company name, or I'm going to go back to find a job, and you can scroll down and search by industries as well. So if you just want to go click on, information technology, there's 19,000 jobs posted for IT related jobs. All the different organizations, click on it, it takes you right to that organization. I also want to, while we're here, talk through some of the career resources that are out there. And we're going to go into that in much more detail. But before I do that, let me go ahead and just go to events. So events, there are going to be lots of networking events, lots of career fairs that you can attend. And while always keep going back to events and check those out. One that I want to highlight here, if you happen to be in a position in your life or career wanting to go out and start a new business yourself, we actually run these on a regular basis. The next one coming up here on March 11th, Entrepreneurship 101, where we bring in the Small Business Administration. We bring in organizations for mentorships on how to go start a business. So those are options out there as well as lots of job fairs. Women in Technology, for example, has one coming up here in the next few weeks. So lots of resources from a event standpoint. On career resources, if you are at a point where you want to just continue to look at upskilling and going back to any of the universities, we have 60 plus colleges and universities around here in our region. And so there's quick links on how to find certain certifications or degree programs to continue to enhance and improve on options for yourself that are out there on the education page with lots of information here. When you scroll down, you'll also see, again, colleges and universities, so you can go search on the tools and find information on all of the different programs out here. Or you can look at upskilling resources. There's lots of opportunities that are available through our state, local partners, both at the state level, through our community college, through our nonprofits here in the region. So encourage you to take a look at both continuing education and continuing upskilling opportunities as you are looking through different options out there. So this site is very comprehensive, 90,000 plus jobs. If you happen to be an employer on the call today too, we have employer resources as well on, again, our job is to help connect all of the amazing talent we have here in this region to all of our companies. We have 40,000 plus entities just here in our county alone, let alone across the whole Northern Virginia region. So lots of opportunities, lots of resources. Please take advantage of that through workinnorthernvirginia.com, and we will continue to update this page for you. Let me go ahead back to the presentation. We'll talk a little bit about some of the tips and tricks that we've seen, that I've seen out there in my career, as we see also working with our companies and the recruiters and the hiring managers across those. So let me make sure we're on the right slide. See that here. Bear with me for a second. Okay, so tips for successful job search. A couple of pointers, and you're going to hear here in a minute how we, through the Northern Virginia workforce organizations and the county, have individual opportunities for you to engage. But I thought I'd take a little bit of time just to help with some tips as you're starting to look for updating your resumes, researching companies, those type things. So right out of the gate, let's talk about just resume, resume and applying. One thing you want to really be conscious of is in corporate roles and looking for opportunities, narrow the resumes down to 1 or 2 pages, depending on your tenure and skill sets and longevity in the workforce. Really bulletizing and emphasizing some key points. We think it's important too to note, as you could be transitioning from federal government to a government contractor or any civilian organizations, is to really think about simplifying terms and replacing government-specific definitions with corporate descriptions. Example would be project manager versus project officer, for example. So be thinking about that. And ways you can come up with ideas on doing that is just researching the companies that you're applying for and the terms that are used within those companies, because we're all guilty of using way too many acronyms and confusing people with some of the language we use. So I think it's important to simplify those terms. Second would be really focusing on the impact versus the activity on those resumes. Each bullet point, note the impact. If you delivered on a particular activity, developed a financial budget, or for example, talk about what the result was from that budget that you managed, resulting in so much savings and so many jobs, whatever it might be. So make sure you think about not only what you did, but what was the outcome? What did you achieve from an impact perspective? I think that's really important. And then this changing world we have with artificial intelligence, we talk to a lot of our hiring organizations when we do career fairs where they let us know that they receive over 10,000 resumes a year. And so the days of them sifting through paper resumes are disappearing, if not gone, with a lot of our companies now. They are scanning those and putting them into software that's leveraging AI tools that's looking for keywords. So be thinking about keywords again as you research a company and making sure those keywords are within your resume. So a few examples I put out there were data analysis or managed teams. I think for anybody on this call that has a security clearance, you know that those are gold, and our companies around here desperately need people that might be transitioning from government, from the Department of Defense, military, that bring those security clearances. You know how important they are. You have those on your resumes. But if you're applying for a role and you do not have a security clearance and it's looking for you to have one and it's a requirement, but you meet every other requirement in that of that role, note in your resume, security clearance eligible, meaning, I do not have a record, do not do drugs, everything that would make you eligible for getting a security clearance. Sell yourself. I meet all of the job requirements and I'm eligible to get that security clearance. So using keywords like that are really key in the resumes nowadays with artificial intelligence and AI and the way that's used. Also, another thing that we have experienced, and I experienced it when I was in the corporate world, and we hear it and see it every day when we're at career fairs and talking to our company recruiters. Because these companies receive so many resumes, because you can get lost in the shuffle, make sure you try to identify a champion or a coach, as I describe it, for within a company. If you identify an organization you would like to work for, find someone through your LinkedIn connections or whatever way you might to find someone within that organization that will help guide you and be a coach and has the knowledge inside that organization. It's really critical. Just examples of some of the recruiters that we talked to just at a recent career fair. They like when people walk up and talk to them, or if they call or send an email, it's letting them know, I know someone in the company, I've done my research, and this is the job I've applied for. And really coming prepared with those conversations is key. So finding a coach or a champion, a trick I've used always in the past too is if you've applied for a role, go on and you do not have a contact within that company, go search that company's name on LinkedIn and see if you find a title that's similar to the one you're applying for. And, you might get their attention or you might not, to let them know, hey, I'd love to connect with you. I've applied for a role that's very similar to yours. Can you take a few minutes and let's connect? So every angle you can to network through your community, your friends, your neighbors, and through LinkedIn and other sources is really going to be a good way to help you stand out. And then when it comes to the interviewing time, make sure that you are prepping by doing as much research as you can on the company so that when you have that opportunity to talk to a recruiter or a hiring manager for, it might be just be an informational discussion out of the gate, is to really let them know you've done your homework. You really, you understand the role, you understand the company, and give examples of why. It's like, I want to work for your organization because of what I've learned in talking to people about your culture, the organizations that you partner with, the projects or programs that you run. That is really key for that first conversation. And then sell yourself. Why me? I bring the knowledge aligned with that job. I bring the experience. I am well known in my organization for my cross-team collaboration or working across organizations, meaning, work well with others, work well in these siloed orgs where you help each other. So I think it's really key. Do the research on the company. Talk about why you want to work for that company and show that you've prepared for it, and then why yourself. And lastly, some questions right out of the gate. You're going to get to these throughout an interview process, but it's very important not to start off with asking questions. Is this a remote job? Is there a remote option for this job? Or what's the compensation package? You're going to get to that. It turns those recruiters off right out of the gate if you start with that. We've heard that many times from the recruiters. So just wanted to share some best practices on that in that area. If you happen to be on the call and you're from a military connected family, either a veteran, transitioning service member, a military spouse, family member, we work very closely with Virginia Works, with Virginia Department of Veteran Services, and with Hire Vets Now through the Virginia Chamber. And if you can see the small writing, again, we're going to post this. We'll make sure you have access to it. But we work together in this military community and have events almost weekly, if not monthly, across Quantico, Fort Belvoir, Meyer Henderson Hall. Great opportunities. Each of those have resume reviews. They have people to help with resume reviews and coaching on interviewing. And those folks behind those tables, they're there to support you. They're advocates for bringing on and recruiting military-connected families. So I wanted to emphasize that as well. Now, let me turn it over to Kellen Graves. He's the supervisor, employment engagement supervisor with the Fairfax County Department of Family Services and their Employment Services Division. And he's going to talk about and represent all of the Northern Virginia workforce centers from, again, Prince William all the way into Alexandria. So, Kellen, let me turn it over to you now.
All right. Thank you, Mike, for the introduction. And again, my name is Kellen Graves, and I'm the Employer Engagement Supervisor with Fairfax County Department of Family Services. And today I just want to quickly talk to you about a service that is offered to any job seeker that's in Northern Virginia. And when I say job seeker, that could look different. It could be someone who's just graduating from George Mason University and is interested in getting in their first career, but they're not really sure what the first step is. It could be someone who's maybe been doing the same job for 10 years, but lost interest and is now, decided they want to move to a different industry or career field. Or it could be someone who's worked for the federal government 20 plus years and now is a little nervous given our current climate of what's going on and wants to explore their options. So the situation could look different, but regardless, this service is offered to them, and this service is our career centers, and they're located throughout Northern Virginia. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the services that we do offer, but just keep in mind that when I'm talking about these services, these can be offered either in person at our locations, or a lot of the services can be offered virtually. Of course, we want you to get the full experience and actually come into one of our employment centers, but we understand that sometimes that might not be everyone's choice or situation, and sometimes virtual is the best way. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and get started about some of the services we offer. The first one is target resume writing. A lot of the stuff that Mike just went over is great information. Like, those are golden nuggets. But he just did that, gave you just kind of like a 5-minute snippet. There's more to it. And if you want to be able to tap into that and get more hands-on, coming to our centers, that's a great service that we offer, is the target resume writing. Especially, I would say right now, with those individuals that maybe are leaving the federal government and they've been doing the job, same job for 20 plus years. And they're like, been doing the same work. How am I supposed to move into a different career field? Or like, does that require me to go back to college, or do I need more training? And the key thing that our job developers and our staff do is help with pulling those transferable skills that come from one of your past jobs or your current job, and pulling that out to put on your resume to apply for any future jobs. So let's say, again, you're with the federal government and you may be doing cybersecurity. Just give an example. Some transferable skills that might be a skill that you had was problem solving, right? Problem solving, being a team leader, adaptability. Those are all skills that you probably did at your job that you can pull out and put on your resume. And a lot of jobs are looking for those same skills. So again, that's just an example of one of the services that we offer within our centers, and how our center staff helps pull that stuff out to put on your resume to make you look more attractable to employers. Another service that we offer is interview preparation workshops. We do workshops where there's multiple individuals, because again, a lot of people learn from working with their peers. And we also do individual interview preparation. And again, think about it. If you've been with the federal government, you've been doing the same job for about 20 something years. When's the last time you've had to interview? All right. Especially now where there's this whole thing with virtual interviewing. It's like, wow, what is that? What does virtual interview look like? What's the difference between doing it in person and doing it virtually? So instead of you trying to figure that out on your own, you're able to come in and tap into our center's resources, where employment counselor or center staff will be able to assist you with that, to prepare you for interviews. And just like anything, the more you practice, the better you become at it, the more confident you are. So we're able to do mock interviewing with job seekers. Another one is career coaching, another service offered. You come in, you're looking at, possibly changing your industry, but you're not sure what the first step is. If I went from IT to now I'm looking into healthcare, like, wow, like where do I start? So again, instead of you trying to figure out that on your own, you'll be able to get some assistance from an employment counselor or center staff to help with that career path and figuring what that looks like. Another service is the targeted job lead assistance. So when you come into our employment centers, one of the first things you'll probably notice is going to be job leads that we have throughout the centers. So let's say you come into the job center and you see the job leads, but none of them match with what you're looking for. We're not going to turn you away and say, okay, come back next week. Maybe there'll be a job up there that matches what you're looking for. No, if there isn't a job on our job board that you're interested in or matches your skill set, we'll sit down with you, we'll work with you, maybe do a career assessment to figure out what you're good at, look at some of your skills, look at your past work experience, and then start focusing on jobs that maybe not on our board, but that are hiring. So again, when you're coming to us, we're hoping that, some of the stuff on our job boards match what you're looking for, but if not, we were definitely able to target what exactly you're looking for, and then what's currently out there who's hiring that matches with your skill set. And then lastly is ongoing support. We can go back, go slide back. Ongoing support. We know that, the hardest part for some people is not necessarily getting the job, it's keeping the job, right? So even though when you get the job, you'll still have the support from our staff. So it's ongoing. And then, of course, training and supportive services, depending on if you're eligible for certain programs, you will be able to tap into services. Again, maybe you need occupational skills training, and depending on if you're eligible for some of those programs, for an example, will be the WIOA program, where we can pay up to $5,000 for occupational skills training to get you upskilled. So that's just the tip of the iceberg of the service we offered. You can go to the next slide. I would say the first step, if you're not really sure what to do, is to just come to our employment centers. And you're probably thinking, like, where are the employment centers? So we are located throughout Northern Virginia. So all the way up from Loudoun County to Prince William County. So Mike is going to share this slide. It's going to have on his website. So you'll be able to tap in this and see the address. But I would encourage you guys to start off with just going to the employment centers. Again, you can do the virtual option, but if you want the full experience, come to the employment centers, start there. And then, yeah, so thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at one of our centers. Okay, Mike.
Thank you, Callan. Appreciate it. So let me just close out by, encouraging everyone to stay connected and informed. I will leave this up here for a second and walk through a couple of other points, but workinnorthernvirginia.com/get-hired. That QR code there, if you use your phones, you can grab that website right off here, but we will post this as well on our share. I'll close out with this here in a second as well. But next steps, update the resume based on some of those high level points we shared, and then know that we have those resource centers you can go into for much more in-depth support. I cannot emphasize enough to network. It's so important to have those connections out there and engage throughout your community, through LinkedIn, through any means you can, through networking events, to find individuals that might be a good advocate for you at an organization you're looking to apply. Check out those 90,000 plus positions that are posted on workinnorthernvirginia.com. Do your research when applying and make sure you're prepared for those interviews, and then stay connected. And what we mean by that is again, go to that Get Hired, sign up for a newsletter. We will share when we have events coming up, career fairs, networking events, more webinars like this where there's additional information that will be shared for you. But just know that there, as you hopefully understand from this conversation, throughout the region, through all of our jurisdictions and the county jurisdictions at the local level and even at the state level, we have the resources here to help you. We want to help you. There are jobs out here for you. There's upskilling organizations and resources that actually have funding tied to them. So take advantage of them, and we will post this out there. We'll find, I know some folks, I saw a few that tried to raise hands, but we're not able to because of the large audience here today, but we'll post this. We'll through our site, workinnorthernvirginia.com, have ways for you to engage us directly, and again, through the career centers. And want to wish you the best and really thank you for attending today, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.